welcome back to Computers for the Completely Clueless. I'm Lee Keller.
Kim Cavanaugh here.
And we're talking about...
We're cleaning up our act, Lee, at least when it comes to computers. The rest of the things we'll make resolutions about.
Yeah.
So we've talked about how to clean up the hardware, kill the dust bunnies inside your computer. Actually, just blow them out. We talked about getting a couple of soft cloths and some water for basic cleaning on in your monitor, especially. You want to be really careful with that. And we talked about keyboard. Now, wires. We're talking about that also.
This is one of the best inventions ever.
Yeah.
Wireless mouse, wireless keyboard.
Your solution to the problem of having wires all over your desk is to...
Get rid of the wires.
Get rid of the wires, yeah. I mean, you can tie them up, obviously, and you can put that on your shopping list if you want when you go down to the office supply store. There are, and I think we both use these little plastic tubes that have a slit in them.
Yep.
And you can bundle all your wires in there, use double-sided tape, tuck them up out of the way, get everything nice and neat and off the floor. So that helps. But a wireless keyboard or a wireless mouse takes away a lot of the problems right there.
Wonderful things. In fact, I wish they had a way that you could make this so it was rechargeable the way the mouse is. Because all you do is you stick that in a recharger, and it's good to go.
Right.
Now, this one doesn't recharge, and the batteries in this are supposed to last for up to a year.
Wow.
So it doesn't use a lot of power.
Yeah, and they're AA batteries in most cases, so not a big deal if your battery does wind down, but you can go on. So that's all the hardware stuff. We talked about make sure you keep your computer, the CPU, the box, the brains up off the floor. How to get rid of those dust bunnies, how to wipe out things. But what about the inside, the stuff we can't touch, the software?
We're going to look in the operating system now, and we're going to start with talking about the browser a little bit.
Alrighty.
Because as we go to the internet, every page we visit is stored, at least on a temporary basis.
Right, and the reason they do that is so that the page loads faster. Let's say you're on ESPN.com, and very media-rich kind of website, lots of photographs, videos, and all this kind of stuff. When you visit or you're surfing around inside ESPN, those images and things are being saved to your hard drive.
Yeah, in fact, this image that we just looked at here
is on your hard drive.
Same thing. It's
exactly. And so the reason that that's done is to speed up performance. Okay, we want to enhance performance, and that's what the cache does. It puts those images into temporary memory, so if you go back to the page, it loads from the computer and doesn't have to go to the ESPN web server to bring it down.
But sometimes it gets too full.
Sometimes it gets too full.
Hard to believe you could have too much cache.
Right. Yeah, I know, but it's true. And we're going to look at some different options. First thing we want to talk about is how to get clear out your cache.
Yeah. So we're going to go to Tools, and this is Internet Explorer, and there's something like this in every browser.
Sure.
Safari, Firefox, doesn't matter. But we're going to go down here to Internet Options.
Okay.
And then we're going to look here, and we've got this browsing history thing, and we can choose delete here, and it's got it broken down into different kinds of files.
Well, let's talk about all these different files, because some of them we don't want to delete, always to delete.
Please don't.
Yeah, so temporary internet files, that is often what's called the cache. Those are those files that are saved to your hard drive, so you can safely wipe them out anytime.
I just click that. Am I sure? Yeah, I'm sure.
Okay. And if there were a huge number of files stored on there, it might take a few seconds longer. What about cookies? Should we clean out our cookies?
We have a different opinion on that sometimes.
Do.
Actually, it depends on the cookie more than anything. And some of your spyware, if you've got something that's scanning your computer, it'll identify the cookies that you need to clean up.
Gotcha.
So you can do this if you want to.
Yeah, I don't really, that's not one that I don't really worry about too much, is the cookies. They're all very small files. They don't impact performance, and so not a big deal for me.
History we talk about often with our parents, because you don't want to delete the history too often. In fact, if there is no history, that means that the child has probably deleted the history.
Or someone is trying to hide where they've been surfing. So I would be warned about that, but it doesn't hurt to delete your history. It's, again, just a listing of web pages you've been to, and not a big deal. Okay.
Form data you may not want to have on there because it'll auto-complete, and people can pick up information from you. So I'm going to clean out my form data.
And the last one, passwords.
Ooh, no. If I delete my passwords, I will not remember them.
Yeah, I know. And it's good, I mean, you want to practice good security, obviously, and change your passwords frequently and those kind of things.
Yeah.
But I kind of depend on my browser to help me remember my passwords.
One thing I like in Firefox, you can look them up.
Yeah, exactly, and you can, and it's quite nice.
So we're just going to close this now.
Right, so we deleted our cache, temporary internet files, and in this case with deleted cookies. And that makes a big difference. Now,
be careful of this button at the bottom.
Yeah. Now, there is another option that you showed me earlier about how to increase the amount of space that you give for your cache. And that can help speed things up if you just say, okay, I want to allocate this much of my computer hard drive to letting me surf the web faster.
We're going to go under Settings here.
Okay.
And you can have it set up so it does some things automatically in that. But this space that you have allocated, this is the space used for your cache. And the more space that's there, the more stuff it can save so that your page will load quickly.
Right. So you can improve the performance of your web browser by increasing the amount of cache. Now, that doesn't mean you shouldn't still go back in and clean it out occasionally.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of memory. And again, if you're going on websites where there are lots and lots of images, like an ESPN or something like that, then you're going to have a lot of stuff that's
Now, these are
saved.
megabytes, so basically I'm reserving 1 gig. It's still only 1 gig on a big old hard drive.
Yep, that's not so bad.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's it, and I set that,
Okay,
whatever I want.
leave your settings the way they are. Don't need to mess with any of that stuff.
And basically we're done. That's all it takes to clean that up from that perspective.
Okay, good.
But there's more to cleaning your insides.
Right. Now, we're going to delve into some things here that are they're basic maintenance operations, but they are a little bit tricky, and some things that we'll talk to you about when you should do them and how and in what order you should do them.
In fact, we're going to go down here to Start menu, and then we're going to All Programs. And then we go to Accessories. And this is on a Windows machine, remember. And our System. We've got a few things here.
System Tools is down at the bottom on this one.
System Tools, you're right. That's the one I want.
Oh.
Now, question, Kim, why are we not seeing some of the tools we want to use?
We have a different image on ours because we're on the school district image. We can work around this slowly. Let's browse to, and this will be another way that you can get there. Let's browse to our hard drive, or explore the hard drive, or the computer, I should say. So if we go to My Computer, is one way to do that. And we're going to right-click on the local disk, and that's almost always as a C drive. So once we do that, we'll see Properties way down at the bottom, and that's where we want to go. And across the top are a series of tabs. And one of those is Tools. Let's take a quick look at that. All right. So error checking, defragmenting, and backup. These are really important. Yeah. Let's go to that first General tab, though, Lee. It's a good thing to look at. Notice this computer. It's how many gigs?
Looks like it's 37 gig. It's a small one.
It's a small hard drive compared in today's world. And I can see how much space I've used on that and how much space I still have free. So it's good to be aware of this. And there's a nice button there right there that says Disk Cleanup. Now what this is going to allow us to do is to kind of move some of that stuff that's in the blue, make it pink. In other words, we're going to get rid of stuff we don't need.
It's going to get rid of trash for us.
Right. So what it's doing now is it's calculating how long it's going to take to perform a disk cleanup. And we're going to get a lot of different options, things that we can delete or things that we might want to leave alone.
And obviously this is going to run faster on a faster computer, newer computer. We're using an older one on this side.
Right. So when we're looking at our cleanup routine, and we'll come back in the next segment and we'll go all the way through that. But when we're looking at the cleanup routine, the first thing we want to do is clean up our disk. And we'll come back with that, and we'll do some other steps to get your computer working as best as it can
More performance
for the new year.
enhancers.